Oh, hey, good morning. I'm John McClain, and on this video, we're going to do the live fire review of the Canik METE MC9 that I won at NRA. So we've already done the unboxing, and now we're going to put some rounds through it. Now, I haven't put any oil on this thing. I haven't done anything to it. We're literally going to just load it up with some Armscore 124 grain factory 9mm, and we're going to start shooting it. We're gonna run it in the iron sight configuration right now, but we're definitely gonna have to run it with a red dot as well. So let's get to it. Now it's been a couple days since I did the unboxing, so I have had some time to put a little bit of dry fire practice in with this firearm. The trigger is still a little weird for me. I love the trigger, don't get me wrong, but I'm so used to Glock triggers that, you know, it's just a different feel. So not trying to come up with excuses, I'm just letting you know the difference between a Glock trigger and a Canik trigger is noticeable. So if you're a big Glock fanboy, just be ready for a little bit of a learning curve when it comes to shooting the Canik. But once you get shooting the Canik down, I guarantee you're gonna love it. So let's just let's see what the first few rounds feel like, and I'll give you an honest first round opinion. And the first mag I'm starting with is actually the 12 round. So it was the flush fit until I added the pinky extension to it. Fed fine. Let's take a couple shots and we'll see how we go. So we'll see how it feels. Nice little flinch at the end there, huh? Okay. So again, you'll notice, as in some of my other reviews, this gun didn't lock to the rear on my last round. Why is that? Well, it's because of my grip. And the way I tend to grip my firearm, my hand actually rests right on top of the slide lock. So because of that, on that last round, slide didn't lock back. Is that a deal breaker for me? Absolutely not. I kind of felt like the gun was empty with the way the slide fell on an empty chamber. So the fact that I flinched is just proving that those last couple shots where you heard bangs and no dings was because I was getting sloppy with the trigger. However, what I can say right off the bat, first impressions, this is a very manageable firearm to shoot. Even though it's as small as it is, the grip is small, but it's not so small that I can't get a good grip on it. And I'm actually kind of impressed with the texturing they have where they do have it is kind of nice. I probably will add a little bit of extra somewhere else along the grip, but at no point did I feel like the gun was slipping out of my hand. And I think that's got something to do with the size of the grip and how you're able to hold on to it, and the ergonomics. The sight picture, this is going to be a personal preference thing. The rear sight is really, really kind of skinny as far as width goes, and historically, I am very used to a wide rear blade. So it's not that it's a bad thing, it's just throwing me off visually. But the only other thing I would say too is, and again, this is a personal preference thing, white dot I'm not a fan of. If I could get a fiber optic front sight in here, then I will. But other than that, I mean, you heard and saw from the start, the shooting was actually pretty solid. Gun doesn't recoil a lot, not a lot of muzzle flip, even though I do feel like maybe, you know, if you can see where the top of the beaver tail goes to the bottom of the slide, there's a little bit of a gap. It's kind of almost, I dare to say, like P320-ish in field, like maybe a little smaller than a P320, but the top of the grip, as high up as I can get to the bottom of the slide, I wish I could get a little bit higher up on the grip. But that was actually very pleasurable. So let's load up the 15 round mag now. Okay. Nope. It's a good gun to shoot. It cycles good, feels good. Like I said, the recoil impulse is not massive. Even though, I mean, I know it's a 9, but for it being a subcompact the way it is, it's not super out of control. Very manageable. Able to get the sights back on target. I'm able to transition the gun. It's not a super heavy gun, so moving the gun left and right doesn't really seem to be affected by anything. And I mean, that was the first 2 rounds with nothing. I didn't clean this gun. I didn't pull it apart. I didn't add oil. Just throwing bullets in the mags, and throwing mags in the gun. So far, it's clean. So let's we'll run some, maybe like another 100 rounds, 200 rounds through it. See if we have any issues. All right, so that's 150 rounds, no lubrication, no cleaning out of the box, literally straight out of the box, threw bullets in the mags, threw the mags in the gun, and the bullets all came out of the gun and then went into the gun without any issues. So, my initial review upon the live fire of the Canik METE MC9 is not going to be a huge surprise, especially if you watched my TP9 Elite SC video. I absolutely adore this platform and what they are able to do for the price point that it comes in under. I mean, okay, the one thing you might have noticed throughout the video is that every time my mag ran out of bullets, the slide didn't lock back. But that's on me because of how I grip the gun. And I'm not gonna change how I grip my gun in order to get the slide to lock back on the last round. If anything, I can maybe throw in some overpowered springs or something in the mag to help encourage it. But the fact is, the gun itself still shoots extremely well. I can get my rounds on target. I can do it quickly and efficiently, which means that hopefully I won't ever have to actually be at a point where my gun goes completely dry, okay? Now, this has all been just with the iron sights. So now, let's make things harder for me and let's throw a red dot on this bad boy and see what that's like.